everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about a game so good, we had to get into outfit for it.
Oh yeah, we're in full-blown character here.
So yeah, anybody watching the
A little
video,
over the top.
just a little bit, but we're talking about Wands Alliance. That's a spiritual successor to the already existing game on the Oculus Quest store, the Wands, which was a 1v1 magic fighting game. You could either fight the AI or real characters, but this one is right up our alley because it's 3v3 competitive team-based magic, which right off the top you go, Harry Potter's losing $1 million not having a VR game yet.
I know you had said that when we were playing, and then I kept thinking Harry Potter doesn't give a shit because they got their amusement park and they got, they're tied into so many billions. It's like you could entice them with $10 million, they're not going to care. But you're right though. It's weird that it took someone else to do something like this and not the.
Yeah, it's like,
and I'm glad for it because I wouldn't be so inclined to enjoy it if it said Harry Potter. So
yeah, I agree. Actually, I think having now played the game, I actually like it more that it's its own franchise. And again, the game's Wands Alliance, so I'm sure the developers and the publisher appreciate it too. Their Cortopia Studios is the developer, and Beyond Frames Entertainment is the publisher. And yeah, I'm sure that they're quite happy that there's no Harry Potter magic game as well, because that opens up this market for them.
Yeah, and it gives them liberties to take it in any direction they want, not be forced to, follow some
lore or anything like that.
Correct.
And the gameplay is very simple in this. Like I said, it's 3v3. There's 3 different classes, I guess you could say. There's an attack-based class, which, does more damage. And has more damage-based spells because, there's loadouts, there's more spells to unlock, so already the game goes deep with strategy. But there's one class more focused on doing damage. One class, he has a little bit more health. I guess you could say he's more focused on taking damage, but not necessarily. But then you have a healer class. So right off the top, everybody has roles. You start with one character in each class, but there's a second one to unlock, that you unlock characters and different spells by leveling up, which you do that by playing games and winning, getting points.
I like the unlockable progression system. I never complain in a game when there's as long as it's something worthwhile to unlock, and I'll even deal with some kind of less than great things to unlock around the journey as long as there's better things at the end of it.
Yeah, you don't mind getting a couple filler levels of spells or characters you won't use, but
no. So
yeah, 3 classes, 6 different characters, a ton of different spells. Each class has a couple spells that are unique to them. So there's pros and cons of each class,
and it also doesn't let you load up with one classic character, which is, I think the first thing we did was try to both be the same character, and it was like, nope, that's not happening.
Somebody picks that character, it's blocked out. So, by default, you pretty much have everybody assuming a role, which, we've been playing with my friend Caleb, a real life friend, and I will say for a game like
real
this,
life friend, not an avatar.
Yeah. I think it's for, sometimes I like to give
He's an avatar and a human being.
Well, he listens to the podcast too, but I like to give a shout out when it's, somebody specific from the Discord or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
In this case, it wasn't, so I felt like specifying. That's all that meant. But, having people that you can properly communicate with this game in, I think is essential because, I don't want to brag. I don't want to say we're like best in the world or anything like that. We do have a 75% win ratio right now. But damn, we work good as a team together because I take that, the more buffy guy who can take more damage. You take the attack position, and our friend takes the healer, and he plays that role great. You play your role great. I play my role great. It's freaking awesome. I mean, we do a great job with it.
I'm just glad someone wants to be the healer because that's my least favorite in any game that structures that way.
Yes, healers are the unsung healers or unsung heroes of these type of games because, I never want to be them. I always want to kill.
For their role, they're as important as a sniper is to other games.
Yeah, well, especially in a game like this. So it's 3v3, and it's cool concept with the way that the game actually runs. So it's 8 rounds theoretically. If somebody sweeps and just it will end early. But so you do 4 rounds as an attacker and 4 rounds as the defender team. So when you're the attacker, you have this floating thing they call the Omega, and you have 2 kind of spots to insert it, and you have to try to take the Omega and bring it into the load-in spot. But the movement in this game is real interesting because there's these like lanterns above you. So it's not like free walk around. You move by teleporting, and like you aim at the next lantern you want to move to and pull your trigger, and you'll see the line and it'll zoom you. And if you try to move away from the lantern,
you pull the grip button.
Yeah, sorry, you pull the grip button. Sorry about that. And then if you try to move away from the lantern, try to game it a little bit, it will say, hey, you can't do magic right now. So you have to try to take the Omega and either eliminate all three of the other, wizards. I don't know if is there a female word for wizard? I feel like there
it would be a witch.
I feel like there is somebody will go real deep with some technical magic lore. But yeah, either eliminate all three of the enemy, wizards, or place in the Omega. And when you place in the Omega, you insert your wand into it. You see this like kind of circle thing fill up. Then after it fills up, you gotta stop them from disarming it for 45 seconds. If they do disarm it, boom, instant win for them. So it's either kill, opposing them, or arm the Omega. When you're the defender, it's the opposite. Either disarm the Omega if they do happen to arm it, stop them from arming it at all, or kill all three of them. We tend to do a little bit better as the attacker, but I think that's probably everybody. But it's cool that it has you do both sides of it. You get your rounds as the attacker, you get your rounds as your defender. We've even had some draw rounds where we went 4-4 with some people.
Oh yeah, we kept going back and forth with them.
So we'd win 4 as the attacker, then they'd win 4 as the attacker, and then there was one that, same team, we won 3 as the attacker and lost 1, and then the same thing. It was like, oh my God, we're drawing with them. So, I mean, simple gameplay concept, but it goes deep because different classes, like I said, different characters, tons of different spells that you unlock. You have 2 wands, so you have 1 wand in each hand, and each wand has 2 spells, but, you shuffle through them by pressing A, and, you can use your imagination. There's ones that are more attack-based. Obviously the healer has healer ones. There's defensive ones, create walls, suck in the other projectiles, shoot a fireball. So you have to be smart with, what spells you want in what they call your battle kit.
Yeah, and you're limited during battle time to only having, 4 total options of spells or offense or defensive different cards that you can put into your loadout for actual in-game play.
Yeah, I think they let you put like 8 cards in your total battle kit.
Yeah, but so that's in between, afterwards you can go to the main menu, and because what happens to me a lot is we'll play some games and I'll level up and I'll unlock something and I'll see it's a new card and now I want to go to the main menu. And what's cool with your battle kit is it lets you test out all the cards.
And yeah, that's huge because like they give you the description of the card when you like grab it and you flip it over, but you might not necessarily know the exact way it's actually going to feel when you shoot it. Like there's some that shoot a lot more straight, whereas some kind of more lob. So you look to your right and there's a, kind of like a shooting range of dummies. You can practice your spells and your loadout there. So that's very convenient.
Yeah, and everything has a recharge time attached to it as well. So I think the minimal I've seen is
just 3 seconds, shooting, 2 seconds, like 2.5.
Yep. But on the higher end, it's like if you use this particular spell, it might take you 20 seconds before it recharges and you can use it again. So you got to be really strategic of.
Yeah, there's one that the healer has that shows the location to all the teammates of the other players for like 10 seconds or something.
Reveal spell.
Yeah, I think that one has a really long recharge time for good reason too.
Because that's a big advantage. Click of a button and now everybody can see. You don't see through the walls, but you see a little red representation of, and it even tells you, I think, in meters how far away it is.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, every class, even like your attack-based class or my, I kind of look at my class as the one that's designed to bring the actual Omega, but every class has, even if their own specific role, spells that are more geared towards offense or defense. Like, you might have you have like the gravity wall, or not gravity wall, but gravity circle that you can shoot at people, which your guy's an attack guy. He's meant to do damage, but you shoot this spell and it'll pretty much absorb any of the spells coming at you. Yeah. You shoot it right in front of the person. It's pretty much a wall of defense.
And what's cool is you choose exactly where to place that. So, I mean, in a lot of their spells seem to be designed that way. You're choosing the location of like, am I going to put it in front of the guy? Am I going to put it in between him and another thing? So where you put stuff is also, Because they have a sand wall one that my character has too that'll let you see through the sand, but the player, you put it in front of.
Yeah, like a one-way mirror.
Yeah. They just see like a wall of dirt.
Yeah, that's...
But that's why teleporting from lamppost to lamppost, because they're pretty generous about them.
Oh my God, they're everywhere, and that's the method of transportation. So there's times you might be in like a one-on-one fight with somebody, and maybe they're getting the better of you. I don't always just teleport to one lamppost. I might completely circle around and see if I can flank them from the backside or something like that, or just get away and live to fight another day. And I mean, every card has a different special ability. Like my homie that I use, the big buff guy, if I drop really low in health, I gain like a boost to my defense. Your guy has probably my favorite special ability, which is if you kill somebody, you regain 40 health. So, man,
which is very important.
It's
unless you have a bad healer or something.
You hang out with a healer all day, they revive you. That's what I do. So it's like our strategy is pretty tight. You know, when we're running the offense, it's like I'll take the Omega and I'll try to get it in, and Caleb as the healer will kind of buff me up with some healing points once I get in the Omega and it's time to guard me. And oftentimes you'll stay near us, but you'll go scope out where they are, and oftentimes you start sniping off people. You're really good at it. So it's like on the offense, they lose a player quick because you're on them. I mean, you've seen it. Sometimes I have the Omega in what, 10 to 15 seconds, and then Caleb's just healing us, and it's like sweep the offense. We've gotten a lot better on the defense. I won't give away. I just gave away our big offense strategy. Still playing around with the defense one, so I'm not confident enough to talk about it on the podcast. It started to work with us. We got some more playing around to do, but there's a lot of strategy. I mean, we mentioned the battle kit. They let you get, eight cards in there. The last card that you unlock on the progression, on the level ups, because, you can see what's coming in the future levels, is a turret. And, man, the game came out on June 30th. On July 1st, I was playing people who were playing that, yeah.
Yep, drop a big old cannon in front of you.
Which I felt good that we were getting wins over people who it's like, oh, man, these summer vacation kids are putting in hours. And me in my 20s still able to hold my own against, I remember what it was like to be a kid in summer vacation. But an insane amount of hours.
Oh, yeah, that's your job.
Dude,
play some video games.
I look so goofy with my outfit.
With your flowing gray hair.
Yeah, what's quite funny because oftentimes, just the way flow conversation goes, it's like I'll read your facial gestures and stuff like that. For anybody who's not seeing this guy, he's got a black cloth over his face. I can't see anything on you.
It's not my fault. It's by design.
It's pretty funny.
It's how sorcerers roll, man. I don't need to see.
But for having...
I got magic.
For having one game mode, it's 3v3 with one game mode. Holy moly, is it fun.
Oh, I can give you an example of a game. It's honestly, my brain went right to it after the first night we played this. Ready? It's basically Counter-Strike with wands and magic. All right? Because the whole premise between Counter-Strike is one person plants a bomb and the other team either diffuses it or wipes out the enemy, right?
And single elimination too, right?
Yeah, it's usually, tournament play was 5 versus 5. But if you go way back when that all started, that was pretty much plant bomb in A or B, and what do they have? You plant your magic device in A or B. They don't even call it anything. So anybody familiar with that style of gaming?
I see why you're doing good at it.
Yeah, I remember I kept saying, I'm like, oh, dude, I want to tell you, but I don't want to say nothing until the podcast. I'm like, that's the biggest comparison I could make. And I'm like, wow, this is like Counter-Strike with wizards and
I used
magic.
to run a lot of Counter-Strike against the bots whenever, we go fire up the computer. You say, hey, you want to do some Counter-Strike? I wasn't good enough to handle as a little kid any real players. Nor do I think that you wanted a little kid on your account.
No.
But, yeah, so it's like even me, I kind of have that experience. The concept of the game came very quick. I wonder how much of that is just hours spent in Counter-Strike. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, because it's the same concept. They're just using different terms. They're not calling it a bomb, but you can...
Omega.
The Omega. You can set the Omega or you can disarm the Omega.
Yeah. And if somebody sets the Omega and they disarm it, instant win for the other team.
So that's just how my brain thought of it. So then I started using those type of strategies when I played. Like, okay, there was a strategy to the game that existed, especially in tournament play. So it's like, wow, what if you took some of those same mental strategy, like how we communicate? You were saying like, hey, we all communicate really well when we play. Well, it's like, yeah, if you don't,
you're screwed.
You're basically just a free-for-all at that point. But if you play with communication and understand what your weapons are and most importantly, where all these different lamp locations are on the map, because still right now, after playing it since
the day before release.
Since the day before release. We didn't really have a pre-release, but I'll call it a pre-release. Yep. 24 hours before release.
We faced bots a day before the release. We weren't facing real people the day before.
I could see once you know the maps, it's game over. I mean, that's going to bring out the tournament player or the league player.
There's 3 different maps currently. And I mean, just to harp on that, you can really see the potential for league play with this and tournaments.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, if you want to get good, which is kind of what we did, it was actually good to face bots before going right into the death trap that is online play.
Mm-hmm.
They have bots with difficulty, so get good at it. Get familiar. Find which classes you liked. I thought I was going to want to be the attacker the most because usually I like to kill. I actually really like placing the Omega.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that was going to be my thing.
No, and anybody can place it. So
yeah. Anybody can place the Omega.
Or disarm it or...
Thank you for putting that distinction.
You've taken on that distinct role.
Well, I feel like that's what that class is designed for. I feel like your class is designed to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's designed to get the Omega, and the healer's designed to keep everybody alive.
And as you pointed out,
I still get a lot of kills too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, they give you end game stats that are pretty cool.
Oh, I love that.
And I was saying today, I love looking at the end of the game when we see all the stats of how everybody did, and our roles absolutely jive with the stats.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone were to just, take away the names of who did what and just look at the kills, how many times was it diffused, how many times was it planted?
You'd go, that's probably the attacker.
How many assists or whatever. It's like, okay.
There's the healer.
Yep. There's the healer, there's the attacker, there's the guy who's, putting it in. So it's like everyone's roles on paper even have proven they work.
Well, this isn't a game that you can play on a team with ego in because...
Well, you can, but you're
not going to have the success. Like,
win.
I think that's part of the reason that we're having success is none of us care about, I want to be the one to get the kill.
Mm-mm.
Or, hey, if somebody else places the Omega or disarms it, I don't give a damn. I'm happy to get the round one. It's like...
As long as because everyone can see, at the top of your screen, you see the 3 players on one side.
Yep, how much health they have.
Yeah, so everyone's quite aware of what's going on. I give them a lot of credit, but I do find a lot of similarities for some reason. Like, wow, it's just like a magic Counter-Strike to me.
Yeah.
Other than the free movement, I'd kill for free movement, but I get it why they can't.
I think it works so good for this game to do this is the one
it
game.
Does. That was the toughest sell for me is like because I hate teleport movement. I don't give a shit what the game is. It's like to me is something about I want to feel like I walked there or flew there or whatever. I don't like.
There's other VR competitive multiplayer games we've played that we won't name or anything that have similar movement structure, and that was definitely the hardest part for us. To the point that it was only, it was tough to really.
But they do this well.
It fits because hiding in this and using your environment is everything. Crouching, you'll see yourself exposed. If you could free walk around, it would be problematic.
No, that's why I said I totally get why they can't.
Yeah.
Totally. But that was the toughest thing for me to I guess overcome was the whole okay, I'm gonna have a light post. And what's cool is you can move teleport with either your left hand or your right hand. So you're not limited to like, oh, I'm right-handed so I can only teleport with they give you great liberty with
and you can switch what spells are in each hand. It's fully customizable.
But even for someone who hates teleport movement, I get it and I'm been having a friggin' blast.
Mm-hmm. I won't lie too because they give you a tutorial that I'll say is must do. It's pretty lengthy. I thought I was gonna suck at the game way more and it was gonna be more complex based off the tutorial, but they cover everything in it. It's a must do. But yeah, I'll be the first to say when I did the tutorial and one of the first steps is movement. I'm like, oh.
Yep. There's no option for this.
I was so excited for this game. I'm going to be teleporting. I wasn't hyped. But, exactly what you said. A couple rounds in, you go, okay.
Yeah, it's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, I get it. And I don't actually, it's not even just that it's the only way it's going to work. I don't mind it once I'm in the flow of it. Sometimes I like it for strategic purposes. It's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Mm-hmm. You'll see it too. Like, you'll be shooting at somebody, they're about to die. You can see their health as you're shooting them. And you'll see that you'll be like, damn it. They hooked on something and they just teleported away right as your last spell to kill them is coming at them. And because it's 8 rounds, you get a good feel of your opponents by the end.
Yeah, and just like Counter-Strike, you do so many rounds, and then guess what? You switch sides. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, and it's real easy to have a better strength at, being the team that is, like you mentioned, it's a lot easier to,
in my opinion, be the attacker,
to attack than it is to defend.
But you know what? Not for nothing. There's going to be people who hear this and go, no way, man. I'm
style preference. That's all.
Yeah. So it's just the way we play. Admittingly, I need to load up on more defensive spells in my loadout. I like to kill ones. I like to get them kills. I don't like build the ice wall or really too much anything like that, or the gravity ball. Nah, it's not really my thing.
No, I think what happens is over time, and the more you start playing it, and then you become real super proficient in the spells that like your go-to bag. You reach a point where it's going to be like, well, now you're going to start trying other shit because you want to know, well, how's this one really going to work? But you've got enough. Let's say you've got 3 really strong spells you're happy about. You can afford to put one in that you just want to kind of fart around with.
Yeah, and they let you switch out the spells each round. From your battle kit.
Yeah.
And then even more so, once you're switching sides after the 4 rounds, they let you repick the class, like the character. So technically, if you wanted to coordinate as a team, hey, when we're offense, you're the healer, and then you want to switch it when you're the opposite role, you can do that too.
I will say to people, I love this. This is actually a really good story. So we got the game. We were playing it. We played multiplayer.
We're so stupid.
We weren't doing really well. I mean, literally, I think we played it for like a half an hour, 45 minutes. And I'm feeling a little down. And I'm like, I see in the main screen, like your main little home that you're in, that's got your battle kit and, where you can do all your, that's where your shooting range is. I see it says story. So I go, hey, you think we should maybe do the story mode before we really go deep into this? Totally overlooking the fact that it clearly says it's a 3 versus 3 multiplayer experience, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, they threw a story in this too?
We got to do this story. So we click on it, and we're each listening. And, I'm listening to this story, and I figure once the story's over, it's going to bring me into a story mode. And I got just about to the halfway point when I'm like, oh.
It's just giving you the lore.
This is not a campaign. This is just literally a story.
It's like you want to know what's going on with the game.
It's just funny because my brain never thought in a million years that's what it was. I thought it was legit. And you did too. You're like, yeah, let's go. Let's click on it. We'll get better.
I was like,
because some games are designed that way, where if you do the campaign or story mode, by the time you come out of it, you've got enough experience, you've unlocked a bunch of shit, and then you can go into multiplayer and feel confident. It's like this game, no. Go into multiplayer and, like you said, either play some bots or just...
Yeah, they have the custom game mode, which,
But you do need, and you mentioned this, I think we were talking a little offline, that, like, a third person is pretty crucial.
Yeah, because you get that bad third.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's not like other games where you can...
We were even using Pop 1 as the example because that's another...
fly away or...
Yeah, there's been plenty of times our third partner quits in Pop 1, and we still either get second place or the win. With this, not having a good third is
guaranteed lose.
I don't want to say guaranteed lose, but it's just there's going to be moments of annoyance. For me, preferable because I like the communication aspect. Now, what's cool is that the game does a really good job with people having the ability to quit and leave mid-game.
And filling them in.
Yeah, you'll see it. It'll be like this person left, this person joined, this person left, this person joined, and you'll never get any game interruption.
So I did read something weird in the reviews, and I think I know what it is.
What's that?
So someone had, like, they said they just got the game, so it's not like it's day one release, because I know there was an issue with something and it's since been fixed. but of course I read the 1-star reviews. And they said that they can't they can't play a game with their friends. You know, they start the game and they're all on different teams. Now,
I think this is user error.
Well, yeah, because remember the other night we were playing it, and I don't even think it was that. And you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna restart my headset or whatever, restart the game," and I'm like, "I'm not. I don't think I need to." And then we started the game up, and for a second it seemed like we weren't all in the same game, because you even said again, "Are we in the same game?" Mm-hmm. I said, "No, we just have to wait for the round to end." And then once the round ends, it sorts everything out because it doesn't pop you into game
that's actively going.
It waits
till that round. You know, one of the 8 rounds is done.
So I'm thinking what that person really had happened is they started the game and didn't even pay attention to the, you know, like, hey, there's 20 seconds left for the round to end, or 45 seconds, and everyone's talking to each other, and they're like, "No, I don't see you. I'm not in the game. I don't see anything on the menu."
Because it doesn't even show, like, if you look to the left or right, you know, while you're setting up which ones you want for that round, you'll see the other players in their name, but not in that circumstance.
Correct.
It'll still say initiate Jekyll or whatever, you know?
So I feel bad because I'm pretty sure that 1-star review was, like, totally not if they had just waited it and let the round end, then they all would have been in the same team, because it's never once mixed us up when we've joined a game together.
No, and it's also possible, so because they have the play button, which when you invite people to your party, which is you do it in, like, the main home, there's like a book, you hit invite, it works really good. If you don't hit play, because the play button's how you face real people, if you click custom game, then that's how you can load in a game with custom difficulty bots and stuff. The person hosting has to, like, take each person's name. It's really simple. You just grab it with the controller, you know, you point and click, and you slide it over to which team you want on. I don't know if maybe he loaded up with his friends and didn't assign teams.
Yeah, it was. I know it was.
I mean, that sounds possible.
We definitely experienced, but it was not the fault of the game, you know, making the match not play, because he was just claiming it's flat out he can't play it with his friends, and I'm like,
Yeah, whenever there's only one person making that claim, I usually say...
I felt terrible, too, because I'm pretty sure it was a 1-star. And if I remember correctly, this one might be, this game might be rocking it. Yeah, 80% 5 stars. So, it's like, it's definitely not happening.
Yeah, well, what's good...
And did you have any glitches? I'll ask you point blank.
No, I haven't had any issues.
Did you have any glitches at all? And there's a lot of shit going on, because everybody's using different spells. Everybody's teleporting to different...
I think in the description of the game, like on the store page, they even call it fast-paced duels, and, like, that's what's going on.
Fast-paced magic duels, I think.
You got to think quick. I mean, like I was even saying to you, like, when you first play the game, when, you know, you're getting used to things, there's going to be times that there's 2 guys on you from different angles, and you might even catch yourself freezing up. Like, where do I teleport? Like, what do I do? You know,
and sometimes you can't teleport away.
No, because there's spells that block. Sometimes you're just not in your good view. If an enemy is on a lantern, you can't teleport to it. Dude, there's the turret one is the best.
Turret.
Yeah. That one's the best.
Yeah.
I see people put that on the Omega spot all the time.
Because,
you arm up the Omega, you place it, and then boom.
And you know, as somebody's placing it, someone else is already setting that thing up there. And it hogs the
lantern.
Lamp.
Yep. So you got to destroy the lantern to even go there.
And then I was saying today, you could have one person freeze a lantern, one person put a storm on a lantern. I mean, you can really, as a team, you could effectively
guarantee your win and lock them out.
Yeah, man, because each player has spells that can do something to those lanterns, meaning the teleport spots.
Like I said, everybody has a little bit of offense and defense. Even no matter what their class role is, they'll have spells that are offensive and defensive.
You're no matter what have to contribute.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get wiped. So, but there is part of me that also says there's going to be people who are probably going to play it and be like, whoa, I did not know it was going to be like this.
Well, on the opposite side, I'll give them a lot of credit that
but they do make it clear in their description.
Yeah, there's nothing about this game that would scream, like, offline, you know, campaign. It's very clearly a 3v3
fast-paced
multiplayer game. If you don't like multiplayer,
duck, dodge, hide,
probably wouldn't play this game. you know. But if you like multiplayer games, you like PvP, especially if you like teamwork like we do. I mean, this is your game. I was like, man, this is probably, this and Pop 1 are probably going to be my favorite competitive team multiplayer games right now in VR.
Yeah, and I think the timing's perfect too, because, you know, and I could definitely catch slack for saying this, but as far as like really good 3 people PvPs, it's like, there's not a ton of them.
It's a hard concept to nail.
I mean, there's some good ones out there, but we typically play it just me and you and randoms, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you have a great third or whatever. But Pop 1 is important. This one's important. So I think that the timing was good. It brings a little breakup in the, but we're used to the 3 versus 3, and we're also blessed enough that we seem to have a pretty good third.
Yeah, and dude, I know I'm cocky. I know I'm in the honeymoon phase, but I don't think we're that bad at this game, man. I'll put up some, you know, people want to check us.
No, I think for right now, I don't think we're bad.
Yeah, you were saying, you know, wait till 3 months from now.
Well, and that's why, because I keep thinking of and I was laughing when you kept saying that to me, because I'm like, I keep thinking Counter-Strike, and I'm like, okay.
People get good.
You know, I thought I was pretty good. I thought our team was pretty good. Had a couple of different teams. 3 different leagues we played in, and you realize real quick, it's like, holy crap, there's, you know, 100 teams in front of me who are all better. You know, so you come in like a top 100, you got to feel proud about that.
Hey, dude, how about this?
And we'd practice, dude. We did the whole, I mean, it was legit. It was like, okay, we're gonna go in the Cal League. We're gonna make some money.
So one of the only games we've lost. One of the only games we've lost. Like I said, 75% win ratio, baby.
Mm-hmm.
One of the only games we've lost. So you can only hear your team in the game, except at the very end.
No, the enemy.
What?
You said your team.
Yeah, like, okay, no, when you're actively facing the opposing team, you can only hear your team.
Yes.
You can only team chat. But at the very end, when it's all done, you can hear the opposing team as well.
How joyful.
So, the one time, you know, that we got really beat, like, I'm talking like we didn't win a single round. It was the most embarrassing defeat we've had in this game. We go into that stat page part where, you know, you can hear the other team. And what do we hear? 3 kids who can't be older than freaking 11.
Oh, yeah. I told my fiance, I said, if they had a total combined age of 30 between the 3 of them, I would be shocked.
And we got whooped.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we rematched them, and we actually won.
Yep.
So I'm proud of that. Like I said, I'm beating kids that are at home on summer vacation. That ain't easy.
We were joking around on our side about that too.
Yeah, we're like, well, when we lost, we were laughing. We weren't being actually
to a
salty.
Group of little kids. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
And I was like, no shit. They've been spending 8 hours today playing it.
Yeah, that's their full-time job right now.
Yeah.
Those kids were good, man.
Dude, they were actually really working really good.
Granted, we came back and
we had to adjust
and did our thing.
No, we had to adjust. We were like, oh shit, this is real.
Those kids were like,
they had it down.
And I think they were pretty smooth about everything. They had a strategy. They were doing they were running plays.
Yes, they were working very cooperatively.
That was days ago. So the game had only been out like 2 days, and already this group of 3 kids have strategies in play and in motion for every single round they played. It was incredible.
Look, just for the fact that we got beaten so bad.
Beaten's an understatement.
I did not expect to go into the lobby and hear that voice. We were dying. We were like, oh, are you kidding me? Oh, but great moment.
Oh yeah, you just never know what you're playing though.
No.
Damn.
You're like,
I'm actually like borderline envious of how well those kids played. Like that's. But I guess you're right. You know, if I spend
8 hours a day, man.
Day,
yeah. I mean, then granted, I'd be more impressed if we didn't whoop them the next one. Gave them that adult beating. You know,
it's
like, dude,
there's some good competition out there right now for a game that just came out. Yeah.
No, like I said though, I think
it's gonna get interesting.
I really, really think we can hold our own.
for now, I won't dispute
yes,
that.
I'm nervous for, as you said, 3 months, 6 months.
I think when people start raising eyebrows to it and get over the whole, like, I'm not into Harry Potter shit, and then they actually play it and go, oh, this has nothing to do with Harry Potter.
Okay, well, because, yeah, it doesn't even have, like, we're dressed up in pretty silly wizard garb and
I'm a sorcerer, dude.
But it's, like, they're not your typical looking wizards. They're wearing, like, typical clothes.
Yeah, kind of steampunky there.
And even the wands, it's not, like, a giant wooden wand. Yeah, it's like
mechanical, steampunky.
Yeah,
there's like a steampunk theme.
Definitely feels that way.
Yep, with the clothing and some of the.
Which is that's just the vibe for I got. You know? But it's an interesting vibe for a Magic game, but it works really good. So I'm curious to see. You know, I mean, hell, the game's for $19.99. The game's freaking great as is right now. You know, with no more game modes and stuff like that. I'm curious to know if they are planning more game modes and stuff like that. But for now, I'm happy with the Omega. I'm still, like, mastering it, you know?
I think there was good hype coming into it. I saw some excitement in the social media world. So as long as they play their cards right, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I really don't. I think they've hit a market that they're gonna do really well in. I mean,
yeah, much like Bocce, which is a game that we're actually reviewing this upcoming Friday, so stay tuned for that. Man, it's one of those concepts, one of those gameplay feels that you go into it and it just works. It clicks. You're like, I think this will be a hit.
Yeah, I don't usually veer to this type of game.
Yeah, I'm not a Magic guy usually. Like this, like wands and like wizards.
But
not usually
VR,
my thing.
It's definitely something that seems to work well. And I'm already familiar with the whole AB, plant a bomb, defuse a bomb thing. And, I kind of enjoy that it's 3 versus 3, not 5 on 5. And I don't know. I'm having fun.
Yeah, all the potential different spells that people can have.
I don't even need other skins, and it's nothing like that.
Right?
Because
just give me
it's a
spells.
Different style. Yeah, just keep dropping some new spells for all the different classes, because the playing field is pretty comparable until
because look, even at us as low levels though, we were killing people who had the max cards unlocked. So it's like even if somebody is max level, that doesn't mean guaranteed win.
No, it just means they got some really beast spells with them.
Yeah, it just means that they
with huge recharge times.
And not every class can use every card. Cards are restricted to each. Yeah, so it's. There's times I thought I unlocked some stuff for my class. I'll see, oh, shit, I unlocked a card, and I go looking up. Nope, none of those were for me.
That happened to me the other night. I made us all go to the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was like, no, because you had started another game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I wanted to go try out my new spell. And we go to the lobby, and I feel like such an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I got 2 spells, but they weren't for me. They're for the other characters, which you could still, they're there, so you can.
Yeah,
play
you put up in your battle kit and then use them if you chose to be that character. But I'm really liking being one character.
That's the problem. Is we seem pretty locked in on the characters. My problem's going to be when the part 2 of my character unlocks. It's like, well, yeah, I'm probably going to want that person. I think
at least try. But I mean, it's going to be pros and cons because something we didn't mention is every character's a different size too. It shows their height.
Mm-hmm.
And
so pros and cons.
Yeah,
sure.
As you like,
especially in a game where fireballs are coming at your face.
Yes, dodging is very important, and so is hiding behind the right environmental objects. Which, depending on your size, there's not a guarantee that you will be fully covered.
Mm-mm.
So,
nor depending on what comes at you will guarantee you won't take some damage anyways.
Yeah,
because I got that big orb ball that you press and it gets huge, and then this thing's huge. It's this big ball, big black ball, and then flies through to where you're shooting it, but it seems to explode. So I'm assuming there's a lot of collateral damage with that. But I'm not 100% because I haven't received one yet. I've had some shot at me, but they're not fast moving like a.
Yeah, you've just started to really play around with that gravity ball too, right? Uh-huh. That's like a more recent addition to your gameplay style or your play style.
Oh, that one that'll absorb damage and stuff. Yeah. Like I said, though, I'll get comfortable with one, and then I'll start adding more in. Because, I mean, you got 2 wands and 4 options for magic at all times, really. So if you're real good and proficient, you can almost have something coming out of the wand all the time.
Yeah, especially if you get really comfortable with this one's 2-second recharge, this one's 6-second.
Yeah.
All right, I know it. Maybe I'll wait half a second.
Yeah. With the 2-second, then pull my left trigger, hit the A button or the other button, and switch. And they make switching
effortless.
Yeah.
You just click a button,
and it moves right over. You see it happen on top of your wand, like it just flips. Like, that's pretty actually convenient. I like that.
You know what I usually do when we're the attacker? I'll put both right? When we're the attacker, I'll put both of my quick spells on the same wand versus, like, usually when we're the defender, I'll have one quick spell on each wand as, like, my initial spell. But I'll put 2 quick spells on the same wand because if you're holding the Omega in one hand, you can't use that wand.
So you want your
I just to put a defensive spell on that one or anything like that.
But you're giving away some good secrets.
Well, man, I'll be honest with you. How do I get better at anything? Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So, And
I don't think we've seen anything
I shouldn't. I'll be honest with you. Probably shouldn't have a 75% win rate. We're doing way better than we should. Bring on the heat.
I think we just
don't have the time to get number 1 on the leaderboard of kills or anything like that. But I think skill level wise,
yeah, no, I know for a fact we've played really good people just based on the spells they've used.
Yeah.
Not good people, but people have played for extended hours of time versus when the game came out. And like you said, putting in 8 hours a day.
And you got to think there's play testers as well. So
yeah,
beta testers.
Although they probably wiped them clean.
But they have experience in the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Come out of the gate already knowing.
We gave full disclosure. We played bots a day before. That is an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't real players. It was day before. But there definitely are people who have been playing other people in the game.
Yeah, if you know the maps and all the then that's the first home run right off the bat because you'll know all the shortcuts to get somewhere. You guys will each know which directions to go. And you just need one person to call it, which we usually do at the start, going A or B.
Hey, I'll put it out here now. I saw them making a joking little post. Be careful what you wish for. Saw them make a joking little post on Twitter saying, who wants to challenge our CEO or whatever. He can pick whatever 2 games. I want that challenge. Us 3 versus him and 2 of the...
Him and the 2 code writers?
Whoever he wants on the team.
I don't think so.
Let's go.
With their dev headsets?
We can even do best of 3. Let's go, baby.
Force slow our frame rates down.
Right. Let's go. I think we can give a run for money. We've played.
It'd be interesting. I would hope we'd lose.
We played another developer. Man, we played developers. Remember Loco Dojo? He beat us.
Yeah.
He beat us.
This is true.
But damn, if it wasn't close.
No, you're right. That was close.
And we did play with the bocce dev.
Mm-hmm.
And he beat me good. I gave him a couple. 2 minutes of.
He whooped my ass.
But
I gave him a good fight.
I think with this one, I think I'm better at bocce. I'm sorry, I'm better at this than bocce or Loco Dojo.
I'd be up for the challenge. I'd do it.
Yeah, I think we got this, man.
Okay.
I really do.
Throw some magic ass whooping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was so funny when we first played with Caleb, and this is when I knew that we were just going to be a good team together, because he did the tutorial. So he goes to do the first bot match. He goes to do the first match with us, and I was like, hey, how about before we face real people, we face bots? So I turned it on the hard difficulty, the hardest, and we do a round, and dude, we win so effortlessly. And I was like, I think we only need to do one more. We did one effortlessly. And I was like, all right, let's go play some players.
I knew he'd be a good third when we played the second night with him, and we were talking what level we all are.
And he's
like,
the higher level?
He's like, I'm a level 7. I'm like, wow.
I'm level 4.
Like, you putting your time in.
Yeah.
No, that's good. But again, teamwork and knowing the map, and you're in really good shape.
Yeah, I foresee a big future of this game with leagues and tournaments and competitive play, and yeah, it goes deep. It can go deep.
It's all dependent on how far they want to take it.
Yeah, and hopefully the player base shows up for it, because like anything, if you got 10 players in the game,
but I think word will continue to grow about it. To be honest with you, because
we haven't had any problem finding matches against real players.
No,
not at all. Actually.
No, so that's a good sign.
But you want to get into our final thoughts and our rating?
Sure.
Because, we could probably say we've been liking this one a lot. We can talk about it for a while. And, man, I think it's a good time to actually talk about the sponsors because if you check out my beard here, I definitely think I need some manscaping going on. Look at this. This is quite ridiculous. All right, so, enjoy this message from our sponsors.
Hey, everyone. Summer is coming, the sun is shining, shirts are off, and your balls are smooth. You heard that right. Your friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. In summer, you want to kill some cold beers and barbecues, not kill the vibe with pubes peeking out of your swim trunks. That's why Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep the party and your pants looking crisp and refreshing all summer long. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare that summer bod. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserve ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a cool travel bag to hold all your goodies. Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor and a new multifunctional on and off switch that can engage a travel lock and give you the ability to turn the 4,000 LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? From the shower to the lake, from your chest scruff all the way down to your ball fro. This Lawnmower 4.0 is the best trimmer around. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. This is the summer to turn your package into the full package with Manscaped.
This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real. We've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. Sweet. And like I always say, if you've been enjoying the podcast, be sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Check out our Discord, our subreddit, which are growing, quite a bit now. So, go check us out there. And like I said, subscribe. You get our newest stuff ASAP. So we'll get into our final thoughts and rating, which we break down our our rating categories into 5 different categories, each rated 1 to 20. Their gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value. So I'll start with gameplay. I think you went last week first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first again this time, or do you want me to?
It don't matter. You already started.
We should. You know what we should start doing? We should flip a coin, on the podcast, so people know.
No, you should just remember.
No. Yeah. All right, so we're starting with gameplay. I got to give him a 20. It's a 3v3 competitive Magic fighting game, and they nail it at that. I mean, conceptually, it looked really fun when I was watching video of it. But I'm just a skeptical guy. I was like, let's see how much I'm, how do I feel after I finish a round? Do I want to keep doing more, whatever? And man, I was hooked right away, especially once I saw the progression, the different classes. It's like, oh man, this is fun. And then, even for having the teleport, which if there was anything that was going to hurt them on gameplay, it was going to be the teleporting. This might be the best execution of teleporting in a competitive game I've seen. So, no, nothing bad to say. Great multiplayer game. So 20 for gameplay. Aesthetics, I don't know if I'm being picky, but I don't get the feel of like best graphics or like cutting edge or like, wow, this is like pushing, new games are constantly getting better with graphics. It's not like that anywhere. It kind of fits right in. I'd say it's a 15. It's not bad at all. They got a great, like you kind of described, steampunky atmosphere. Nothing cutting edge, nothing bad at either. There's nothing wrong at all with a 15 out of 20. But yeah, that's just kind of where I feel they're at for aesthetics. Good environment, good feel. Just nothing to justify a 20, So 15 for aesthetics. Functionality, you already spoiled this one earlier. You said, have you had a single glitch? No. Everything works great. So functionality, I'll go quick on that one. That's easy 20 out of 20. Replayability was the category that I was going to be the most skeptical on this one for, especially doing the tutorial and, seeing that there's only one game mode, the Omega, either arm or disarm, that's it. It's like, ooh, replayability might be tough. But you see the different classes, all the different loadout styles, the progression, and besides that, just how fun one round is. Like I said earlier, I finish a round, I want to do another one immediately. Like I'm having a blast. It helps that we're winning, of course, but it's fun. Like it's a blast. So replayability, believe it or not, maybe a little controversial, but I'm going 20 on replayability for them. And then value, game's $19.99. I'll give them a point per dollar. They get a 20 out of 20 on value. So, man, the only category I nailed them on was aesthetics. They get a 95, 20, 15, 20, 20, 20. I mean, and like, you've heard it on other reviews. Sometimes I like to give space to grow with replayability, especially when, like, there could be other game modes. But just to be fair, as is now, shit. I could put in hours on this one in a session. This is, I know you're going to say it, so I'm sorry to steal the thunder from you, but must have a battery pack for this one because it's fun.
Yeah, I got screwed already not having my battery pack on. That sucks. Okay. Sorcerer needs glasses for this one.
Even though nobody can see those glasses on, you do have glasses on.
Right? Oh, yeah. I should have just kept my mouth shut. So, gameplay, I give him a clean 20. I'm probably more mentally picky about this one than maybe, I don't know. There's just something about the whole concept that didn't really intrigue me as much as I think the rest of the people that, absolutely adore or love it. But holy moly, man. The thing's fun. It's fast-paced. You got to work as a team. It's got all the things I need in a PvP style game. And the fact that it's 3v3, that is kind of hard to say, huh? 3v3.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who messed up. I feel a little bit better about myself.
3v3 PvP. That makes it all better. And that you can practice with bots, so you can start working on strategy. There's a lot of potential for that. So I don't disagree at all. A 20 is, more, I think, absolutely fantastic. Aesthetics, again, can't disagree with you. Not cutting edge, not bad by any stretch, which seems to be a common theme. I'm starting to wonder in my own head what it'll take for me to give a 20 out of 20 anymore in graphics.
I can hear we're getting bitter. I'm sorry to interject but
it's
both of us.
No, I don't think it's bitter. I think that just every now and then there's something that you'll see in a game that's...
Yeah, you try to save it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so that's the bar for, I'll say extremely tight graphics. But there's nothing wrong with these at all. But keeping in mind also it's a very fast-paced game, so maybe the tighter the graphics wouldn't really help you. But a 15, in just my opinion. Functionality, this is one I thought there would have to be a glitch somewhere, something, only because you can duck, you can dodge, I'd say be cognizant of your play area, though, because there's potential, especially like hiding behind things, which I'm not good at the ducking and dodging. I'm bettering off running for the hills, but I've had no issues. I haven't been kicked out of nothing. I mean, the only thing that I've had happen is I drained my battery during the last freaking round of a full match and got no credit for competing the match. So, and yeah, you sent me the message that, oh, dude, that sucks because we won. I'm like, well, yeah, I know we were having a blast, but that has nothing to do with the game. So Functionality, I think a well-deserved 20, which honestly, it's like for that much fast-pacedness to go around and to not have things fall apart like that, that's pretty impressive. Replayability, I got to go at 20 just because of what they market themselves to be is what it is. You're not going to be thrown a curveball and be like, hey, I didn't know this was only really like a multiplayer experience. No, this is flat out, 3 versus 3 multiplayer all day long, every day. And I don't think it pretends to be anything but that. So it's a 20. There's a lot of potential for its growth, but right, like you said, right out of the bag right now, definitely deserves a 20, and I don't see it going down. If that style of gaming, meaning player versus player, teamwork, that's the one area that might be tough for some people because they go, look, I don't have any friends, it's like, that might be a struggle because you do want a good teammates. But we're blessed with our third now, but if we didn't have it, I wonder if I would mentally be like, that's really a 15. And value for money. It's not very expensive at all. They probably could have charged an extra $4.99 and put it in ballpark with games similar in that, shooting style, and they didn't. So I think it's a steal, let alone the fact I'm sure it's going to show up on the store as a deal of the day or whatever the case. So, a 20. So a 95. It's 2 95s for wands.
Look at that. And I'll be honest with you. I bet you if you sucked it up and you accepted that, look, I'm going to meet a couple, people that I don't cooperate with well, and, the flow's not there, the feel's not there. Based off of the way I've seen, people already picking up the necessity of teamwork and everything like that, I bet you if you sucked it up and you did 10, 15 games, not even, I try to throw out a bigger number, you're going to find a couple good people to play with, even if you're that, that guy who doesn't have, other people with headsets. It seems like the community of this game is playing it correct, which makes it easier to find good people to play with. Nothing worse than, oh my God, why is the healer going off on their own and dying first?
No, for league play, you'd never pull that off.
Oh yeah, solo?
Meaning like without really working and playing with your teammates and each knowing their role and sticking to it and dropping the egos and I'll say it, I don't care, you'd said it to me, but it seems like more people right now are so focused in killing each other that we're having a relatively easy time.
Yeah, I was popping into the Discord not saying nothing. It's not, a lot of times, man, I'm in a lot of Discords that I don't say a peep.
Yeah,
but I'm reading.
Just reading.
I like to keep my eyes everywhere, I don't got the time to comment. It's a lot quicker to just read. But I keep seeing people say, like, just ignore the Omega unless it's a necessity. Like, just focus on wiping out the other enemies. And kind of what I alluded before, dude, I'm getting in the Omega in like 15 seconds sometimes because these mofos don't know where to go.
And we're playing the other night, and I think you and Caleb went A, and I went B, and there was nobody in B. Like, not a person checking, not a person looking, nothing. And I think you guys ended up looping back around and coming to B.
Yeah, and then putting the Omega there.
Yeah, and dropping it there.
Yeah.
Just like that. Boom. Put it in.
And it's like, I understand it's fun to kill the other enemies, but like, maybe this is just because I'm competitive. I like the
win.
To me, that's just as valid. It's just as fun, like being able to sneak up, and then it's 45 seconds in this game is a long time.
It's a long time.
So it's not just that it's so easy to put it in and you win. Yeah. You're going to get some conflict in that 45 seconds, I promise you. So it's, I don't know. I don't mind. I think that people will learn quick. I don't think that the Omega is as, like, ignore it as people are acting.
No, and I mean, if you want to get more technical, the best way to probably strategize the game in that sense would be send 2 people to one bomb site and one to the other, no matter what the case, and then be able to call or go when needed. So you really have eyes on everything. But I'll see people, they group up a lot under the same lantern.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to see.
But then you get like that. There's a cloud spell that like your guy has.
Yeah, I love that one.
Dude, that you got it. You can't do that with that one.
No, you place it. It launches the spell on the lantern and then creates a big thundercloud and strikes lightning. And
30 damage a strike or something like that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's a beast.
30 damage in this game is a lot. You're going to see the health go down.
I never watch my health go down. I just see my character die. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it goes
like
quick.
By the time I notice my health is like, hey, what's my health? I'm like, oh my god, I'm in spectator mode. Okay.
Well, the game's fast paced, so if you're in a fight, if you go to check your health, even though it's just right at the top of the screen,
you're dead. You gotta be and always have an exit.
You know what's cool too is none of the spells are like bullet speed. None of them are slow. But they're all dodgeable.
Every one of them.
But they're all like, if there's multiple coming at you, it's easy to not dodge too. So it's not, I don't know.
And you're dealing with human timing, so it's like
inhuman variable.
And I'll bet any money there's somebody who probably knows like already knows the second value for every spell. So if they get shot by something, they already know like, oh well, I won't see that again for 6 seconds. I know they had that, and I know I won't see that again for so many seconds.
Yeah, see, I don't have that knowledge yet, but you're correct. People are going to get and be like,
and you'll be able to take advantage of knowing, like,
all right, I saw him shoot that. Yeah, I saw him shoot that spell on the left wand, so man, this game's going to get deep. I'm just curious how quick we're going to see updates come, if there's stuff planned. I mean, it's great as is right now.
Podcast Pooch is excited about these costumes.
Yeah, we got Reggie on the table. Do you have any? I think we've just about covered.
Yeah,
it with this
I mean
one
it's brand new. It's not janky. It works. People seem to be having fun. The in-game mics work. Seems to be getting a diverse group of people. But I anticipate it's going to get. I predict it's going to get to the point where they'll probably need to have like that ranking system for match play.
Yeah, right now
because you're just going to get absolute beasts who are just going to.
Well, you know what? For what it's worth, like Pop 1 to this day still doesn't have skill-based. And that's a criticism they get. But I think it all, the ability
to we saw it go down last night.
Yeah, the ability as a game to pull off skill-based matchmaking all comes down to the player size,
There's enough Pop 1 players they could do it.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm not complaining at all.
All right, so... Man,
so get your best wizard costume, which you don't need because
again they don't even wear this type of wizard.
They don't wear this type of stuff. This is just us having fun.
How could you not have fun like this? Come on.
I don't know. I'll have to go walk around outside now.
Right? Take the little pooch for
see what happens.
I'll walk around the block as a wizard. See how many heckles I get. I'll bring my wand for defense though.
Right. They'll definitely work on the street.
That'll. All right, but no, I can't think of anything we didn't cover with this one, but I'm so excited for this one, and I will say, watch out for the heat against us on this one. We're coming.
Yeah, we'll see you in the server.
Yeah, this is one of the few games I actually have confidence in.
We'll see you in the server.
Can't wait to play somebody in our Discord or our Reddit, and they just wipe us. This is going to happen. That's the way it goes. All right, everybody. Like I said before, though, if you enjoy this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and, check you out on Friday.
Take care.